Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. The sunlight streams through the blinds, casting lines across the cluttered dresser where I stand. My hand trembles slightly as I reach for the beige pencil skirt, the one Liza wore last night at her supposed business dinner. The skirt feels heavy, burdened with secrets, as I brush my fingers over the soft fabric. "Jack, are you listening?" Liza calls from the kitchen, her voice slicing through the early morning calm. "Just a minute." I call back, my voice steadier than I feel. With a deep breath, I dig through the pockets, searching for her phone to confirm our plans for tonight. Instead, my fingers close around a small, crumpled piece of glossy paper. I pull it out, unfolding the photograph cautiously, as if it might detonate upon exposure to air. The colors flash vibrant and mocking, a sunny beach, the sky a brilliant blue, and there, Liza, with her arms wrapped around a man I've never seen before. His tall, muscular frame is clad only in bright red swimming trunks, his smile wide and carefree. Liza, in a green bathing suit, looks radiant, happier than I've seen her in months. "Jack." Liza's voice grows impatient. "Just looking for your keys." I lie, slipping the photograph into my pocket, my heart pounding with a cocktail of betrayal and fury. I walk into the kitchen, finding Liza by the stove, her back to me as she stirs her herbal tea. She's dressed casually in jeans and a loose shirt, the picture of innocence if I hadn't seen the photograph. She turns, smiling. "There you are. I thought you got lost in our closet." I force a smile, leaning in to kiss her cheek. "Never," I say, the word tasting like ash in my mouth. "So, tonight's plan," she begins, oblivious to the storm raging inside me. "Dinner at Marcel's, then maybe a walk downtown." "Sounds perfect," I reply, my voice hollow. I watch her, studying the lines of her face, the curve of her lips, searching for some sign of the deceit that has nestled into our life like a silent serpent. The day drags on, each hour marked by the loud ticking of the living room clock, a relentless reminder of the passing time and her betrayal. As she leaves for work, kissing me goodbye, I stand at the door, the photograph burning a hole in my pocket. I'm alone with my thoughts, which race and tumble like dark waves. Revenge, a word I never thought would find a home in my thoughts, now builds its nest firmly there. I need answers. I need to know who he is, how long this has been going on, and why she lied. But more than that, I need her to understand the depth of my pain, the cost of her choices. As her car disappears down the road, I pull out the photograph again, studying the face of the man who has invaded my life. A plan begins to form, dark and uncertain as the clouds gathering outside. This isn't just about confronting Liza, it's about reclaiming my life, about punishing betrayal. The gears of revenge begin to turn, slow and inexorable. I know what I have to do, and as the first drops of rain hit the window, I start my car and follow the road that will lead me to answers, to confrontation, to retribution. The journey has begun, and there's no turning back now. I park my car a block away from the beachside bar where I last saw the man from the photograph with Liza. The salty breeze mixes with the scent of fried seafood and sunscreen as I approach. My fingers clench and unclench around the steering wheel before I step out, a printed copy of the photograph in my pocket. The bar is bustling, laughter and music spilling out onto the wooden deck. I scan the crowd, searching for that familiar face, but he's not here, or not yet. I take a seat at the bar, ordering a drink to blend in, my eyes never ceasing their vigil. "Looking for someone?" the bartender asks, a burly man with a tattoo of an anchor on his arm. "Sort of," I reply, pulling out the photo. "Seen this guy around?" He squints at the photograph, then shakes his head. "Sorry, buddy, doesn't ring a bell." I nod, my hope dwindling. Just as I'm about to turn away, a voice chimes in from my right. "He's around here a lot. With a pretty brunette, right?" It's a woman in her 30s, her sun-bleached hair pulled back in a ponytail. Yes, exactly, I say, my interest piqued. You know him? She nods, sipping her drink. Name's Marco. He's a regular surfer type. Always with some lady or another. Do you know where I can find him? I ask, trying to sound casual. She points towards the beach. Usually out there when he's not here. Big on the surf scene. I thank her and leave a tip for the bartender before heading towards the beach, the sand warm under my feet. The sun begins to set, casting long shadows and painting the sky in oranges and pinks. Surfers dot the waves, their silhouettes stark against the liquid gold of the ocean. I spot him then, unmistakable from the photograph, Marco, hauling his surfboard under his arm, water dripping from his dark hair. My heart races as I approach him. Marco? I call out, trying to keep my voice even. He turns, a smile on his face that fades when he sees my expression. Yeah, who's asking? I hold out the photograph. I think you know my wife, Liza. His features stiffen, the casual demeanor slipping. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Then tell me the truth, I interrupt, stepping closer. Were you with her last weekend? Marco sets his board down, his gaze shifting toward the ocean. Yeah, I was. Look, I didn't know she was married. She said it was a casual thing. Anger surges through me, but I swallow it back, needing more answers. I need to know everything, Marco. When did this start? What did she tell you? He runs a hand through his hair, looking genuinely remorseful. It was just a couple of times. She told me she was in an open relationship. I laugh bitterly. Open, huh? That's news to me. Marco looks at me, his eyes earnest. I'm sorry, man. I really didn't know. I nod, my mind racing. Thanks for being honest. As Marco picks up his board and walks away, I realize that knowing the truth about Liza's infidelity is only the first step. The real challenge lies ahead, deciding how far I'll go to make her pay for her betrayal. The waves crash in the distance, a soundtrack to the turmoil inside me. I turn and walk back to my car, the setting sun a fiery witness to the vows of vengeance taking root in my heart. The night is crisp, the sky a clear vault speckled with stars as I drive home, the information from Marco simmering in my mind. My hands grip the steering wheel, each turn bringing me closer to the inevitable confrontation with Liza. But first, I need more than just my wrath, I need a plan, a way to ensure she feels the full weight of her deception. Back at home, the house is silent except for the soft ticking of the clock. I sit at the kitchen table, a lone lamp casting shadows on the walls. My laptop is open in front of me, a blank document waiting for my thoughts to form into something coherent, something devastating. A knock at the door startles me from my reverie. I glance at the clock, nearly midnight. Curiosity mingled with cautions I approach the door, peering through the peephole. It's Greg, Liza's brother, his face etched with concern. Greg? What are you doing here at this hour? I ask as I open the door. He steps inside, his hands in his pockets. I needed to talk to you, Jack. It's about Liza. I lead him into the kitchen, offering a seat. He looks around, his expression tense. I heard about the troubles between you two, he begins, hesitating. Liza's been acting strange, distant. I'm worried about her. His genuine concern catches me off guard. There's a lot going on, Greg. More than you might realize. Greg nods, leaning forward. She mentioned meeting someone new, said it was nothing serious, but I got a bad feeling about it. I ponder whether to trust him with everything. Finally, I decide to reveal part of the truth. She lied, Greg. She's been seeing someone else. I found out just recently. Greg's face darkens. I can't believe she'd do that. What are you going to do? The question hangs in the air, loaded with possibilities. I'm planning something to make sure she understands the consequences of her actions. Something that won't just pass by unnoticed. Greg's eyes sharpen, a hint of his sister's defiance in them. You're not thinking of doing something reckless, are you? No, nothing reckless. Just impactful, I assure him, though my plans are anything but mild. I could use some help, though. Someone who knows her well. He hesitates, then nods slowly. I don't condone what she's done, Jack. If you need information, I can help. But I don't want her hurt. I nod, appreciating his position. Information is all I need. We talk for another hour, Greg providing insights into Liza's schedule, her friends, and more importantly, her financial dealings, which might just be the leverage I need. He leaves just as the first light of dawn starts to seep through the blinds. With Greg's information, I begin to craft a detailed plan. It involves not just exposing her affair but also putting her in a position where she'd have to face the professional and personal fallout of her decisions. My fingers hover over the keyboard, each click a step toward the undoing of Liza's carefully curated life. The sun rises, a new day, and with it, a new chapter of our lives begins to unfold, one where every action I take is aimed at meticulously dismantling the facade Liza built around us. As I finalize my plans, I realize this isn't just about revenge anymore, it's about reclaiming my own story, one she tried to rewrite without my consent. The day has arrived, a culmination of meticulous planning and silent battles fought in the shadows of our shared home. As I sit across from Liza at our dining table, the air feels charged, heavy with unspoken truths and imminent revelations. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes, and she toys with her coffee cup, oblivious to the storm about to break. Liza, we need to talk, I begin, my voice steady, betraying none of the tumult inside. She looks up, her expression wary. About what, Jack? About us, about honesty, about the future. I pause, giving weight to each word. She sets down her cup, folding her hands. I know we've been distant. I've been meaning to discuss things with you, too. Before she can continue, I slide a folder across the table towards her. I think this will cover what needs to be said. Confusion flickers across her face as she opens the folder. Inside are photos of her and Marco, alongside bank statements and emails I had uncovered. Her face pales as she flips through the documents. Jack, she starts, but I hold up a hand to stop her. I've known for a while, Liza. About everything. I watch her closely, searching for any sign of the woman I married in the stranger before me. Tears well up in her eyes, but I harden my heart against them. How could you, Liza? How could you lie to me like this? I was going to tell you, Jack. It was a mistake. It meant nothing, she pleads, her voice trembling. That's where you're wrong, I say coldly. It meant everything. It showed me who you really are. Liza sobs, covering her face with her hands. What are you going to do? I lean back, the next steps clear in my mind. I'm going to make sure you learn from this. That you understand the consequences. Her eyes are wide, fearful. What does that mean, Jack? It means that your decisions have consequences. I filed for divorce, Liza. And with the evidence of your affair and the financial misdeeds I've uncovered, I don't think you'll find the proceedings favorable. Liza looks devastated, her world crumbling around her. Jack, please. We can fix this. We can go to therapy, work through it. It's too late for that, I say, standing up. The chair scrapes loudly against the floor, echoing in the tense air. I needed honesty, and you couldn't give that to me. As I head towards the door, I turn back to see her crumpled in her seat, a broken figure. A part of me wants to comfort her, to forgive her, but I know that things have gone too far, broken too deeply. Goodbye, Liza. I step out into the sunlight, the air fresher than it's been in months. As I walk towards my car, my phone buzzes. It's a message from Greg. Is it done? He texts. Yes, I reply. It's over. Meet me for coffee, he suggests. I pause, then type a response. Yes. I'll be there soon. As I drive to meet Greg, a strange feeling settles over me. It's over with Liza, but life goes on. Maybe Greg's friendship will be part of that new life. Maybe there's a chance for renewal, for building something on the ruins of the past. The intrigue of betrayal has ended, but the intrigue of what comes next is just beginning.